Hello students of the 12th class physics. This is your video number 15 and heading application of Gauss theorem. Okay, in the last videos we have discussed about what is Gauss theorem. I am going to remind you one more time, and then I am going to use that theorem for the calculation of electric field for various charge distribution. What is charge distribution? You also know that thing. So I am coming to the main thing. What is Gauss theorem? I am going to remind it, and after that I am going to explain the various electric field due to different type of charge distribution. So in the Gauss theorem we discuss electric flux is the surface integral E dot ds, and that was equal to Q by epsilon naught. Q was the charge inside the Gaussian surface and epsilon is the electrical permittivity, you know that. Okay, so come to the original video. So this is your A application, first application. Electric field due to uniformly charged infinite linear wire. What is infinitely charged linear wire? I am going to explain you. This is a one-dimensional figure like this, and charge would be uniformly distributed. Okay, so I have discussed earlier in the video there are three types of charge distribution. This is the linear charge density I will use here. Okay, so this is infinite, here is infinite, so here is infinite. So it is not possible to make infinite diagram on the finite dimension of this video, so come to the original video. So I am going to read it. What is written here? Applications of Gauss theorem. Electric field due to uniformly charged infinite linear wire. Let us consider uniformly charged linear wire of uniform linear charge density lambda. I explained you earlier. So what is figure x1, which is written here, where symbols have their usual meaning? I am going to show you in the next page. This is your next page. Okay, students, so read this. This line you are seeing is a linear charged wire infinite. Okay, this is a Gaussian surface, which is a cylinder of cross-sectional area, and the length is L. This is L length. Okay, you see in the original video. The length is what? Length is L. Okay. Suppose I am taking the point P here, and this is the ds area. You know, when I want to calculate something big, I always start from the ds for very small area. Then we proceed through integration. I have explained this thing so many times in 11th class as well as in 12th class. Okay, students. So this is your point P. The ds is the area. Electric field is here, and n cap is the normal vector. Always I told you earlier. What is the angle between E and n cap? That is 0. Okay, but what is this? Is the curved surface area. This one is the curved surface area. I am going to show you one more time, student. Theta is 0 degree. It is the angle between electric field E and n cap. Okay, theta is 0 degree for curved surface, whatsoever is the position. But what about this cross sectional area? You know from mathematics, this is the cross sectional area. Electric field is here, and n cap is always normal, so theta is 90 degree. Again here, E is here, n cap is here, so theta is 90 degree. You can see that. So angles are clear to you. Okay, students, so come to the original video. This is your figure, and P is the point I told you earlier, where E is to determine, because I want to calculate electric field due to this charge distribution, and at point P. Okay, come to the original video and come to the next page. I am going to apply the Gauss theorem there. Okay, this one, student. Okay, this is your electric flux through cross-sectional area. Electric flux through cross-sectional area of Gaussian surface. Yes, phi 1 equal to 2 E dot ds. Why 2 E dot ds? I am going to show you one more time in the video. There are two cross-sectional area, this one and this one. From both the angle is 90 degree. So come to the next page. Yes, this one. 2 E dot ds, and cos 90 is 0. So no flux through this cross-sectional area. So this is your equation number 1. Okay. Student, you can see how we are applying the Gauss theorem, which already we proved in the previous headings. So this is the result. Phi 1 is equal to 0 for the electric flux through cross-sectional area of the Gaussian surface, as you see in figure x1. Now come to the original video. I am going to read it. What is for the electric flux through curved surface area of Gaussian surface? What is curved surface area? I am going to tell you one more time. Yes, this one. This one is your curved surface area. This one. This one. Okay, you can imagine that because we have discussed this so many times in the previous classes of mensuration chapter in mathematics. So come to the next page. Yes, this one. Yes, phi 2 is E dot ds, only one curved surface area, so no multiplication of 2 is here. What is the angle? 0, as you can see from figure. Cos 0 is 1. Okay, students. So what is phi 2? E outside the integration. ds is what? What is the surface, curved surface area of the cylinder? 2 pi rl. Okay, it is clear from mathematics. So phi 2 is the electric flux through the curved surface area of the, you can say, Gaussian surface. So what would be the total electric flux? Total electric flux through the Gaussian surface will be, as usual, phi e is equal to phi 1 plus phi 2. Okay, students, further, come further. Yes, from equation 1, 2 and 3 we have, what is 1, 2 and 3 we have? In 1 we have 0 value. In phi 2 equation 2 we have E. This is your E, student, as you can see from here, 2 pi rl. And in 3 I am going to put the value from 1 and 2. So come to the original video and the page you require here. Yes, this one. From equation 1, 2 and 3 we have phi z equal to E 2 pi rl. That is your equation number 4. So this is the electric flux. I am going to apply the Gauss theorem. What is Gauss theorem? You know that phi, I told you earlier in the video 15. Earlier in this video 15 I explained you what is Gauss theorem, because we are studying the Gaussian surface. So this is your electric flux, this is equal to surface integral, and this is equal to q by epsilon. Okay, this is actually q by epsilon. Okay, epsilon naught is electrical permittivity, q is the inside charge of the Gaussian surface. Okay, one more time, this is q and this is your epsilon naught. Okay, student. So this is your equation number 5. From phi, for phi you see we have from 4, and q is, I will explain you later. Yes, come to the next page. Yes, this one, student. What we are seeing here, since we know that, what we know that lambda is equal to q by l. When I was explaining in the previous videos the continuous charge distribution, so there was 3 kinds of charge distribution: linear charge distribution, surface charge distribution, and volume charge distribution. So this is your linear charge distribution. So I am going to use that value q by l, as you can connect from the previous video. So what would be q? Q would be lambda l. So this is your equation number 6. From equation 4, 5 and 6 we have E 2 pi rl is equal to lambda l epsilon naught. Okay, so L will be cancelled out, students. So E would be lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught. What you are seeing in this video, you are seeing the electric field value at point P due to linear charge, uniformly charged, linear and infinite. Okay, I'm going to show you from the figure x1. So I'm coming to the back pages. Yes, this one. What we are calculating actually, student, the value of electric field here, which is at distance r from this linear charge distribution, which is uniformly charged. Okay, students, so we have the value, and if we multiply with n cap, it will become the vector. I told you in the 11th class, by multiplication of unit vector, the scalar becomes the vector quantity. So come to the original last page. Yes, this one. This is your electric field due to linear charge distribution. Okay, at point P, which is distance r. If we multiply it with n cap, this is a electric field vector. Since you know that electric field is not a scalar quantity, it is your vector quantity. So student, this is your video number 15, where we discuss about your heading. I am going to tell you one more time, this one. Applications of Gauss theorem. Electric field due to uniformly charged infinite linear wire. Okay, you can see here, this is a figure, this is your figure. Okay, this is linear charge distribution, and this is your point P, where electric field is to determine. And finally, what result we have? We have the result, this one, value of electric field and the vector quantity So direction of electric. This is the required expression, and this is the very important heading which will come, definitely can come in the examination. So many times it has been asked by the All India CBSE. So be ready for this. I'm going to finish this video number 15 of this chapter 1, and we are tending towards the end of this chapter. Okay students, so this is the